Okay. Hi, everybody. It's November the 17th, 2023. And my name is Tony Variant. I am a person with a hearing loss. I have a cochlear implant and hearing aid. And this meeting is being recorded and will be posted on the chapter's YouTube channel. So all of our meetings are recorded. You have access to the internet. You can and my emails, you can get links to click right into it. It's working. Come on. Okay. Gabby, could you forward slides? Because this, for some reason, oh, here it is down here. So I want to point out to everybody the chat window. The chat window is available to send messages to us, the presenter, or to each other. If you need assistance, Alan Kutsura is available online. You can privately send a message to him for any help you need with Zoom. Before I get to that, for people in the room, there's a ladies' room, men's room, out the door, to the right, down the hall, and left. So, if you do that. We've been having hybrid meetings, which means people on Zoom and in the room. And it's not 100% perfect. I'm working diligently to try to perfect this, and we'll talk more about that later. HLAA disclaimer: we do not endorse any single product or service. This meeting is intended to provide information, education, and support. I do have to mention Caption Call, however, because they are a sponsor for our program. So Caption Call actually pays for our captioner, who is captioning for us right now. And as you will see, they provide landline phones on your existing network telephone, and they also provide an app for iPhone and Android. So if you need captions, if you benefit from having captions, that is available. So let's see. Yes. So if I move the captions, that's right. I should put the captions at the top. Okay. You can also use these programs on iPads and tablets, and their telephone number is there, 877-557-2227. There is a brochure at the table. Okay. All of a sudden not working again.
The clicker.
Okay, this is our captioner. So she is actually captioning in real time for us. She's in Chicago, Illinois, and coming to us via the internet. Isn't that amazing? This room, the Elm room, is equipped with a hearing loop. So for those who have telecoil-equipped hearing aids, you can now switch your hearing aid to telecoil, and you will hear everything that I say directly into your hearing aids, bypassing any background noise. If you don't have telecoil-equipped hearing aids, or if you don't have hearing aids, you can borrow a receiver in the back, and Jeff has them there. Or if you'd just like to try one, you're welcome to try it. These are the different wearing options. In this room, we provide a headset and a receiver, and then you control the volume. HLAA, this chapter, Mission Viejo Chapter, formerly known as the Hearing Well Club, Everybody keeps calling it Hearing Well Club. I'll still respond to that. We are a 501c3, donations made to the chapter. Jeff, would you pass around the donation box and $1, $3, whatever you can afford, we appreciate it. Chapters all volunteer. No one receives any compensation of any kind, and we depend on your donations for support. You can also donate online, HLAAMV.org. Okay. And that's my contact information. Now, do we have any first-timers here? We don't. Everybody who's here has been to one of our meetings. Jewel has not been here since before the pandemic, but she's back. So slowly but surely, people are coming back.
Good.
Okay. And everyone here, with the exception of one person, I know has a hearing loss. All wear hearing aids, is that correct? Okay. And cochlear implants, we've got Gail has cochlear implants. Okay. Did anyone come here today, and this is true for the people online, is anyone who is with us today, did you come specifically with a question you were looking to have answered or information provided? And I'm going to have to go to and Alan, let me know if anybody indicates if there's anybody that has a question they want to be sure to have answered today. Okay. Most everybody in the room here is kind of experienced. You know, they've been here and learned a lot, and welcome back. Okay, I have two very important announcements. One of them is our next meeting, which is going to be an open house, and it's going to be here in this room. And it's just going to be a holiday open house. We'll have some coffee, tea, and some snacks, some desserts, and it'll be just sort of an open forum. Talk to each other, ask questions, and it should really be a cheerful event, and we get to know each other a little bit better. That's December the 15th, 2 o'clock in this room. So for next year, there's going to be a new location, a new day, and a new time. All of those things. It's going to be you have a handout. It looks like this. It's on the back. So it's the second Monday of each month. It's going to be in Clubhouse 7. Everybody know where Clubhouse 7 is? At Gate 16. It's across from the golf course.
Yeah.
Restaurant 19. So and it's a better room technology wise.
Is it Gate 16?
I think so.
It's opposite 12.
Yes, it's opposite 12. 12 is restaurant 17, the golf course, all of that. Yes. So I listed out each and every date for next year. So take this home and put this next to your calendar and knock off the dates on your calendar and try to reserve those dates to join us here.
Thank you. Good one.
Now, the only exception to that is December 2024. And that's going to be bumped up to Monday, December the 2nd. In advance, the room was reserved on what would have been the second Monday in 2024. I couldn't get there fast enough.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that one date has changed. And again, we're going to work on the hybrid setup using Zoom. We'll be using completely different equipment, and hopefully it'll be better. So, all right. So those are the two important things. Next, I want to introduce our presenter. So it's Gabriela Rodrigues. She's a doctor of audiology. She's received her Doctor of Audiology degree from Texas Tech Health Center, Science Center, and her Bachelor of Science of Communication Disorders from New Mexico State University. And Dr. Gabby, we love to call her Dr. Gabby, has been living in Orange County since 2020. She's completed her 4th year externship in Newport Beach Clinic that specializes in vestibular disorders and rehabilitation. Then she went on to work for a very busy ENT office in Newport Beach. She currently works at Amazing Hearing as a dispensing audiologist in Laguna Hills. And okay, I want to get rid of all of these things. How do I? And when she's not in the office, you'll find her enjoying quality time with her beloved corgi. This is Penelope. The dog.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You're squinting. Sorry. Okay. So, Dr. Gabby, come on up. I will get your slide ready.
Okay, thank you.
And we're not going to use
No mic. You guys can hear me okay? I just talk. Use my audiology voice. Okay. Let her get the slides up. Today we're going to talk about holiday season and things you can do to get prepared ahead of time so you don't run into issues when you get
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm waiting for my slides.
I'm still working on it. What happened?
Did everyone here get a handout of the slide? Okay. Online, I think Tony is going to send out a printable version if you want it.
I certainly don't need to see that. Do you know how to get rid of this?
Let me see.
We don't need the notes and all of that.
No. So if you hit, can you put your captions up for a second? You hit the 3. We should, if you play from the beginning. And then from here, play from the beginning. And now you should be able to just click through it.
Okay.
Oh, get you back to that. Weird.
Okay.
if you do that, the issue that should. Oh, there you go.
Hold on. We got to get back to the window and the screen share. Thank you for your patience, everybody. All right.
I think we're good.
All right.
Let's see here. It's okay, but that's okay. Okay. All right. Here we go. Next slide. Okay, so with the holiday season, there's lots of things involved that are really happy and exciting. You get to see friends and family you haven't seen in a while. You're going to different gatherings. You might be hosting gatherings. Lots of different traditions. We're making yummy food. That's my favorite part. Maybe exchanging gifts. All really good. However, can also bring some stressful things with the holidays as well. Is this clicker working, Tony?
If it works.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so with friends and family, you have to remember their names, remembering important details, which means you have to hear those important details and names. If you're singing songs, that might be a loud, noisy environment. Difficult to remember. Traditions, you have to remember prayers, traditions. That gives me a difficult listening environment. Got it. Sorry, online, we're working on the slides here.
To do it from here.
Good, Tony?
Just tell me when to move the screen.
Okay.
Go with this.
All right. Can we move the captions up to the top?
Yes.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay, let's try again. So food, making food, we worry about safety. We need to hear each other in the kitchen so we don't run into some problems. Exchanging gifts can be stressful because you have to stay engaged. Financially, this can be stressful. So not all merry and joyous when we're not prepared. Go ahead and go to the next one. Tony?
Yes. Hold on.
Thank you. What if you just click on the side? Here?
Where? Oh. Okay, I'll do it that way.
There we go. So some of those things that we try to account for are out of our control. Weather, illness, other people's issues, other people not being prepared. But there are some things that are in our control, like planning ahead, leaving time for emergencies, knowing where you're going, knowing who you're visiting, make sure that all of the flight, the car are packed and ready to go. Tony? We can go one more. So I love this quote from Arthur Ashe, who was a tennis player. He says, one important key to success is self-confidence. The important key to self-confidence is preparation. So we got to take responsibility in being prepared. So that's what we're going to talk about. Slide. So let's start by focusing on what we can control physically. So we can try our best to cut down background noise wherever we're going to be for the holidays. We can make sure the area is well lit, make sure that if you are visiting someone else, you talk to the host ahead of time to arrange some of this stuff. Arrange for appropriate seating, depending on what kind of device you're using. You want to face everyone so you can see their face, get some visual cues. We want to get our equipment checked prior to the holidays, so we're not in a panic during the holidays by seeing your audiologist. We want to charge all of our devices, hearing aids, cochlear implants, assistive devices, and if they're not rechargeable, we want to make sure we have some spare batteries. Next slide. We can also control our emotions. So this is what emotionally we can prepare for. Smile and relax. Holidays should be fun and lighthearted. We want to advocate for yourself, asking ahead of time, letting people who's at gathering know, I have a hearing loss. I might need you to speak a little slower, a little clearer. Educate them. A lot of people are not trying to make a difficult listening environment. They just don't know. Be patient with the people who are learning how to navigate talking with someone with a hearing loss. Be patient with yourself, as it's an ongoing thing that you're learning how to deal with your hearing loss as well. And this is a big one that people forget. It seems so simple, but resting before the event. We know that our brains account for a lot of what's being said and heard and processed. So making sure your brain is rested and ready to go does a lot for you. Go ahead. These are some other devices that can be helpful in these sort of situations with some background noise. A partner microphone, which I would clip to my shirt. That's good for one-on-one. You're going to hear my voice loud and clear to your ears. A table microphone, maybe if you're sitting around a table with your family or friends, that's going to pick up each person's voice and send it straight to your ears. Having a phone app that live captions for you. There's lots of different options. That way, worst case scenario, you miss what's being said, you have a backup on your phone that's dictating as you go. And then, of course, your hearing aid app. You don't already have a speech and noise program, working on that with your provider, making sure you know how to use the app so that you can adjust volume and different things. Next. This is a big one too, is being realistic with yourself and with your guests. I tell all my patients the best hearing that you have is your natural hearing. Nothing we give you is going to be just perfect. So knowing your abilities and limitations, knowing what you require, seeing people's faces, having them talk slow, and letting others know what you need as well. Frustration comes when expectations are not met. So if you go into a situation having unrealistic expectations of yourself or others, that's when we start to get frustrated and some communication breakdown happens. Okay, we're going to pause here and going on with better understanding of speech and noise. Amazing Hearing and the club is kind of launching an oral rehabilitation program. I will be doing activities starting in January with the club to work on some oral rehab. And Amazing Hearing has Cindy, who's a speech language pathologist, who will be joining us to also work on a new oral rehabilitation program. She's on the Zoom today, so I wanted her to just jump on and introduce herself. And we'll go in a little bit to what oral rehab is and why it's important. Cindy, are you on?
Can you hear me? Am I unmuted?
You're unmuted. You're good.
Okay, yeah. Here I go. Look, I get my own slide presentation. This is so nice. Thank you, Dr. Gabby. And then also, Tony, thank you. You're doing a great job organizing and handling all of the technology that goes along with this. And I know that's difficult. So thank you for that. So Dr. Gabby contacted me and said, hey, how do I introduce you? What do you want people to know about you? And it's always a little confusing and a little uncomfortable for me to, put things in writing about what my qualifications are. But I'm going to go over the first 6, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, the first 6. And then we're going to get to the important one, which is number 7. First and foremost, I'm a licensed speech language pathologist in California, which speech language pathologist and speech therapist is used interchangeably. So that's one and the same. I am certified by the American Speech and Hearing Association, which is our national organization. As a matter of fact, they are meeting this week in Boston to do continuing education, educate people, get us up on the latest and the greatest. I unfortunately last month took a tumble down our stairs, and I am now recuperating from a broken ankle. So my job now is to literally get myself up on my feet before the first of the year when I can start working with Anne and Dr. Gabby. I have a master's degree in communication disorders, and I got that here in California. I think one of the things in my life that I'm the proudest of is that I put myself through school. I'm a pretty self-made woman. I did my undergraduate degree at the University of Redlands, and then I did my master's degree at Cal State Fullerton. So I am pretty much a Southern California girl. I was born in Kansas. I like to say that I was raised in California with Midwestern values. Those of you who are from the Midwest will know exactly what I mean when I say that. I have over 30 years of clinical practice in speech therapy. And to be real honest with you, I just stopped counting at 30. I figured that was enough. So over 30 years, I've worked with clients and patients who've had speech and language disorder. Also, I specialized in swallowing rehabilitation. So those patients who were on G tubes and NG tubes and weren't able to eat by mouth, we worked with them and got them back on what's called a PO or a per oral diet. So they were eating real food again and participating in life the way that they used to and the way that they wanted to. I also have a clinical focus in geriatric speech and swallowing disorders. So for I would say the majority, like 99% of my 30 plus years of practice has been in the geriatric population, working in nursing homes. I think they like to call them skilled nursing facilities these days, but everybody knows what I mean when I say a nursing home. I also worked for a private company who contracted through nursing homes, and I did a lot of oral rehab therapy with them. As a matter of fact, that is how I met Anne from Amazing Hearing. And I met Anne when I was just starting out in my career. So Anne and I were just kids at the time. And we've maintained contact for over 30 years, and we like each other and we like what each other does. And so Anne contacted me and said, hey, I'm thinking about expanding my program. Would you be interested in coming and doing oral rehab via speech therapy for my patients or my clients? And I said, oh, absolutely. So I'm excited to do that. I also have done a lot of staff education regarding oral rehab assessment and treatment. So when we do treatment, we cover both the assessment, like where are you in speech discrimination skills? Where are you initially in lip reading skills? How easily do you understand what's being said to you? And then we do post-treatment. So then we can look at, okay, did therapy work? Did therapy make a difference in your life? Personally, I think therapy is all about increasing your quality of life. And if your quality of life doesn't increase through therapy, then I haven't done my job. And I take that very seriously. I also, in 2020, during COVID, I certified as a life coach, which specialized in cognitive behavioral methodology, meaning we look at your thoughts around your hearing loss and your feelings around your hearing loss. And we kind of address those. And these are some of the things that we will be discussing in oral rehab therapy. So a lot of people have difficulty just feeling like they don't belong when they have a hearing loss, feeling like they may not be welcome in a crowd, that they can't be part of the conversation if they're not understanding everything. And when you go into a group situation with that thought and that feeling, you feel unwanted, you might feel insecure, you might feel less than in some way. When you go into a situation with that thought process, it gives you a different result than if you go in with the thought of, I belong here. I'm going to be able to make this work. I love being with other people. Then you have a completely different outcome. So we'll take a look at some of that through cognitive behavioral therapy. And I told you I was going to go through the first 6. And then number 7 is, I think, the thing that you need to know most about me if you're going to be working with me through Anne's clinic. I'm a nice person. I just am. I'm a nice person. I like to laugh. And I care deeply and passionately about my clients and their progress. I used to go around to the company that I worked for. I would go to various settings and I would teach their speech therapists how to do oral rehab or how to do maybe another type of speech therapy. And I would always tell them, and I think this surprised them a little bit, but I would always tell them, if you are bored while you're doing therapy, if your therapy doesn't seem to be that interesting, then you're doing it wrong. Because I truly, truly think that therapy is fun and it's welcoming and it's a place where you have safety in the 4 walls that we're in. Like, it's therapy to me is a place where you can make mistakes and then we can fix them right as they're being made. So there's such a safety in it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay not to hear this and have to ask for repetition. It's okay to not understand real high frequency sounds. And it's okay to fill in the conversation when I need to. And in oral rehab therapy, I'll give you that chance to practice those skills. So I promise if I see any of you in therapy that we will laugh, we will have a good time, and we will probably laugh with each other and at each other as the sessions go on. But I promise you that I will focus entirely on increasing the quality of your life, because that's what I think oral rehab is all about. And it's very much my joy and my honor to be able to work with people to help them walk through that progress and pat themselves on the back when they recognize that they've increased their skills, their abilities, their communication, and they've increased everything in their life, the love, the relationships, the ease of communication, and the ability to understand that, you know what, I did a good job. So thank you for inviting me today. It's such a pleasure to be here, and I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you.
Okay, thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
We have, go ahead, Tony.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I heard that there have been a couple of people in this community, Orange County, that have participated in your training and have had extraordinary results. Can you, I'm not asking you to name any names.
Yeah, I have them. So we have.
Just talk about the people in general.
Yeah, absolutely. If you'll get to the next slide.
Okay.
Let's pull that up, and then that's exactly what I want to talk about. So this just breaks it down again in writing. You know, what is AR? Why do you care? And why would you want to do it? Cindy did a great job of explaining, you know, what the outcomes we hope are, but they're both subjective. Like your relationships with your family and your friends, you should see that improve. But I have a couple patients who have also seen really good objective outcomes of oral rehab. And this just kind of speaks for itself. So we have a patient who went through oral rehab with a speech language pathologist. When we first tested her in September of 2021, she had poor word understanding in both ears. So we tested her at a really loud level, about 100 decibels. She only got 10% of what was said in the right ear and 30% in the left ear. She went through speech therapy, oral rehab. We tested her again October of this year, so 2023. We tested her at a little bit softer level, so about 90 decibels, and she got 80% in the right ear and 90% in the left ear. So not only can you see physically and emotionally how much more confident she is moving through life, but the objective test results speak to, you know, how well she did with AR as well. So we're really excited to have Cindy with us and offer therapy like this. And like I said, I'll be going through a little bit with the Mission Viejo chapter each week, starting in the new year, but really taking it to the next level with Cindy and doing a deep dive and, you know, seeing what kind of outcomes maybe you can have. And then last slide, that's it. We'll open it up for questions if anyone has questions here or online.
Okay, so Alan, you have your hand up?
Right. So Don Ann wanted to know about what the meeting changes were for the upcoming year.
January to Mondays. That's you, Tony.
Yes. For everybody who is online with me right now, I will be emailing you a document that has the meeting schedule. It's going to be the second Monday every month starting in January. Second Monday of the month starting in January in Clubhouse 7 at 2:00. Did you have another question, Alan? Looks like the box was full, so.
Yeah, but most of it was people having questions about Zoom. They were having some problems. Let's see.
So after listening, here, this is for everybody in the room. I'm going to have to move the camera. So, considering the people in the room as well as the people on Zoom, how many think that speech pathology, what do you call it, oral rehab you would benefit from that and be interested, in taking it. Yeah, so would I. Wouldn't it be fun? We could all get together and, and we could all do this together. Oh, there we go. All right, I'm going to close that. Okay, so, we can use Amazing Hearing. We can use Gabby as a point, to connect and find out more about it individually. As a matter of fact, if you can produce a documentation, I can make sure that our membership, everybody that's on my email list, learns about the opportunity to participate in oral rehab. And it would be great if we could, knowing each other, do it together. Because as I understand it, you do have one-on-one trainings and you have group sessions. So I would love to be in a group session with Dawn Ann and Ann and if Jewel would join us here. So that would be great. Yes, Go ahead, Jewel. What's your question?
Okay, she just talked about the improvement from like 30% to 80%. Is this individual connection and is it free?
It's not free. It's in person.
In person.
I don't know what the rates are. I don't even think.
We don't even fully know yet. We want to know who's interested. We're going to start with group therapy sessions. And then if that's something that, kind of takes off, you're seeing improvement. I think Cindy and I discussed that one-on-one is a possibility as well. So we're kind of working out the details. In January, when we first do a session here, kind of at the end of, the meeting, I'll have more specifics for us.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yes, Anne.
Yeah. Well, we asked about the money. I guess that it isn't paid by insurance yet, that it isn't a program that would be that way. I assumed that. However, I did take lip readings just before COVID, and we had to drop it. But I found that the class was very helpful in subtle ways. I guess, like looking at the person you're talking to, for example, which is with the hearing loss. Very important. And I think I would like that.
Are you able to hear on Zoom? Are you able to hear Anne talking?
Okay.
Yes, we can hear her.
Okay, great.
But I would be interested in this. Does it give me more confidence in asserting myself, maybe, if I get some help?
Absolutely.
And I'd like the group.
I want to put some filters on my hearing. So filter out the background noise.
Yeah.
Be able to focus and concentrate more on the speech that's in front of us.
Yeah, so that I just have certain situations that are difficult that I think this would help with.
Yeah, so I'm willing to make a confession here. So I've been in hearing loss support and helping for well over 25 years. I started well over 25 years. And I worked for the Hearing Loss Association of America in the Washington, D.C. area for almost 10 years. And when I go to a new club down here, we have lots of clubs here in Laguna Woods, lots of clubs, lots of opportunities to participate. And I'm very shy. I'm a wallflower. And people are just speaking over me, and they're speaking so fast. I don't even have a chance to assert myself to say, and I'm starting to wear my pin now that says, please face me. So, but after all those years, I sometimes struggle. Now, that's not the case when I'm in a room full of people that are hard of hearing. People with hearing loss. I just have so much fun. I love it. I don't worry about anything. I know I'm not alone with my hearing loss. And so I love going to hearing loss functions and, cause I have a great time. Never a problem. But with all the trainings I've done, all the things that I've done for people with hearing loss, I share the same problem, being a wallflower in a room full of people I don't know. And it's hard for me to get started. And spontaneity seems to have left me. I just don't have that spontaneity. And I'm committed in 2024 to laugh more. So I got to bring spontaneity back. I'm not even saying that right. And I need to be able to hear the punchlines and etc. So I am looking for more fun in 2024. So, and I think that this class, this group therapy session would be ideal. So sign me up. Yeah. Let me know when you have it. Okay.
Tony? So
yes.
Dawn Ann has her hand up, but she doesn't seem to be on video, and I don't know if she's waiting or what.
Okay, Dawn Ann, where'd you go?
Well, I can't explain that, but I put my hand up and I don't know how to get it down. So my question was answered. Thanks, Tony.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Do we have any other questions about surviving family dinner from Chatty Cathy and from Uncle Tom, who doesn't look at you? What are some things? What are some things that you've tried in those situations that work? Number one, or number two, what situations are the most difficult for you? And see if we can huddle and get some answers, some specific answers to your questions. Anybody here? So I guess we've already answered them all in advance.
Yes, well, I have a question.
Dr. Gabby, you did a great job. Okay, yes.
I have an extremely bad hearing loss, and I have every device imaginable. But I come into a room that has a telecoil, and I put it on, or I go into the Performing Arts Center, which presumably has a telecoil. And if I didn't have the captions, I still don't hear well. And I don't know what my problem is. I mean, if I just focus on what you're saying and I don't look at the words, I manage to hear you, but I assumed it should be better.
So does Ann or Dr. Gabby adjust your hearing aids?
Yeah, Ann does. So
there's one thing that I want to say, and I want everybody to hear this. So
she just turned off the background noise, which was helpful. But, and Ann had told me that I had forgotten about that. But it's still not as I had thought in a room with a telecoil that I would hear a lot better.
The one thing that I've noticed after talking to a few people is they get their telecoils programmed as MT.
Yeah.
And what that means is you've got telecoil and you have the sounds in the room. My hearing loss is so bad that doesn't work for me. When I'm on the T, I want to be 90% on the T, not 75%, not 85%, 90% max. Actually, I'd be happy to have no microphone at all. I can just switch it when I need to go back. That little bit of interference, that little bit of multi sounds is too much for me. And maybe that's your situation.
Mm.
I don't think I'm the only one that has that issue. So I'm much happier when I'm just on the T. Now, talking about the Performing Arts Center, because we've talked about that before. I do know that telecoil, that hearing loop works. What doesn't work, there are some clubs that don't use the hearing system in the clubhouse. They bring their own equipment, and that's not connected to the loop. Now, in this room here, this loop, that's the microphone. It works independent of any system in this room. This will be,
And one of the things in the Performing Arts Center, they sometimes don't use the microphone that's keyed into it. They walk around.
Yes.
Okay.
See, that's what we as a club, as a chapter, need to work on, educating people what we need. Your neighbors, the club presidents, the people that are presenting the program. I go back to the recreation all the time. People here, we're over 50% of the population here has a disabling hearing loss. That's according to the marketing department and NIH, when you put the numbers together. And so the recreation department that does so many of their programs, they never think about people with hearing loss. And we're in the majority. So we need to learn about our own hearing loss. And that's the purpose of the meetings here. We need to learn what we need. What Jewel needs, you don't necessarily need. You may have different hearing losses, different levels, different, so that's between you and your audiologist or a hearing aid dispenser.
And some of the clubs have people who put on a closed caption that's simultaneous, that is so fabulous. But some of them use it and some of them don't.
Yeah.
I guess they need somebody experienced enough to do that.
Well, we have a professional cart provider, captioner, and, we pay her. She gets paid. Caption Call pays. And we appreciate that. And so captioning is expensive. I mean, there is AR. There is automatic speech recognition. I'm going to show you something. What kind of phone? Do you have an Android or an iPhone? Let me look at it.
Yeah.
iPhone.
Oh, you have an Apple. Okay. So I have an Android. I have an Android phone. And look here, Sandy.
Yeah.
I have an Android.
Right.
Every time I speak, this repeats it. I can take this, and I do. I go to the grocery store with this. I can't hear the checker.
Right.
I hold this up.
Isn't this what this is?
No.
So how do you?
That's a white X set. That's your white X settings for your hearing aids. This is not giving you captions. I'm showing you how to get captions. I have an Android tablet, so it's a little bit bigger.
Right.
And I put this program on there. It's called Live Transcribe. And when I go to church, I set it up, and everything the pastor says goes right in front of me. I can read it in live very quickly, just by
Right.
So what I'm saying is there is help for captions.
Well, when we use this, for example, sometimes I find I do better if I'm far away than if I'm close. The strangest thing. I go to the bathroom and I hear the person who I was sitting next to better there than when they're sitting next to me.
When you're streaming,
We are going
hit
to,
that button too.
so I'm going to work with you and just pure support and see if we can put our heads together. Okay. As a matter of fact, next year, I was already talking to the recreation department. I'm going to rent a room here where once a month I have office hours, call it office hours, where anybody can drop in and we can talk one-on-one on their specific problems. And so we have a few people here from Laguna Woods. So of course that includes you too. You can come and we can see if we can improve your hearing. And of course with some oral rehab, that will help too. It sounds like oral rehab, Sandy, would really be good for you. Okay.
Tony,
yes.
may I make a comment? Maybe
yes.
someone should explain to her the difference also from understanding and hearing, because that seems to maybe be a problem she's having.
Understanding and hearing. Yes. Yes. There's a lot of people who hear, but they don't understand. Yes.
But that's exactly what AR's trying to do.
Close the gap.
Absolutely.
Bring it all together.
So can I get a similar app on my phone?
No, you have an iPhone, so I can't offer that.
Yeah, somebody I know put something on here and now it's gone.
There is an app you can download.
Yeah, somebody put it on for me and right now it's gone.
And if you're playing videos, it'll give you captions for your videos.
Right.
There's an app that will give you captions for your telephone.
Yeah,
calls.
somebody put it on. And
but there's
just
nothing...
today, right now, I've just lost it.
Yes, Ann.
You're saying that Apple doesn't offer for the iPhone that same captioning?
Yes, there's a monthly charge for that, and it's not even half as good as this, unfortunately.
They offer one, but it isn't.
You have to pay. You get like 7 days to try it, and then you have to
I know. I have this way to have. Sorry.
There's a few that are free that are okay. There are a couple that are free. That's okay. Yeah. Yeah.
What would I?
I'll work with you.
Okay.
We'll do it together.
Yeah. And I did get
there's Alva, and then there's
even like Google now has a live transcript, and that's
Google only works on Android.
I think you can get a Google app on iPhone.
Yes.
I think you can. So I can pull a list of free live captioning resources and get it to Tony and she can send them out, but I'll help you.
Okay.
I don't mind paying for it. I would love to get what you have on your Android on my phone.
Well, I'll find something for you.
Okay. You know, I got the caption from last meeting, and I got the wrong scanning.
I'm sorry, you did what?
Last meeting, we had the caption up, and I calls that were
just a lot of phone calls.
I guess. Whatever, because after I got that,
before you leave, I want you to give me more information about that because I'm not really sure I'm understanding. What I do want to do right now, if we don't have any more questions, I would like to close the meeting. I would like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and hope that you can get through and talk to your family members, your friends and family, and you can maybe talk to them quietly, go to the kitchen and have a private conversation, but that you get close to them. And okay, somebody just left. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Cindy, and we'd like to find out more about your program. So please let Dr. Gabby know. And then I can let the membership here know. Okay. Alan, thank you for your support. And Joe, Captioner Joe, thank you. I don't know where you went. She's still there. She's still captioning. Okay. And I want to thank you all for coming. And Please come back in December. We'll just chit chat. We'll have coffee, dessert, and we can talk more one-on-one on a lot of little issues. And we can talk to each other. See, we can all compare notes about our Thanksgiving.
There you go.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.